Shalom, this is Doug with Douglas V Amateur Radio and more. I'm working on the masts for my HF antenna out here. I'm going to use an end-fed half wave, and I'm going to use a pulley and a mast. I use these top rails, and I've used them many times. I'm probably only going to make one of them 10 feet, the one by the barn 10 feet, and I'm going to use and the other one 10 feet as well, but I may make this one 15, but I doubt it. It just depends on what works better and what kind of keeps things simple. But I'm going to put a pulley at the top. That's about where it's going to be, but it's going to be a little more centered. And then I'm going to use this to be able to tie it off a little bit better, kind of like you'd tie off a boat or anything like that. That's where I saw these and I said, oh, I've done this before with my dad going out on his boat. And I was like, oh, this works well, and I think it'll work better than an eyelet, an eye bolt. And this one I'm going to try to mount like this, but I thought about mounting it something like this, but there's only one bolt for that, or one mounting point, or maybe like this. And these bolts these holes are about the same distance as those. I think they should be exact, so they should work just fine. If I change it up, I think it'll be a little bit sturdier. And for now, I'm going to use these self-tapping screws. If they'll fit, maybe I'll get a washer, but trying with what I have. So I've got another one of these top rails, the chain link top rails. So I went and got this stuff today, the 16th of March. And in a minute I'll show you where I'm going to put these. The first one's going to go here, about where that bend is, and I'm going to use the antenna mounts like I have over there and that I have at my house in Phoenix, and along with probably either two pieces of 2x4 per standoff, with a total of 4 pieces, which I already have here at the ranch. And then I got screws for it. Either that, I'll use I'll see if I can find 4x4 to be able to do that with. And this little pen area here, not pen, it's a little chute that the cattle go in. And so this is an active use every few times a year, or so that they can get a truck into and up to there to load that up, so that cattle can load up cattle a bit easier. I was putting the dipoles from that tree over there by the barn up through here to that cedar, related to the juniper and arborvitae. I'm not sure that I've heard that that's not a cedar, but it's something related to a juniper or arborvitae. I've got arborvitaes in my yard and junipers in Arizona. So the mast for the top rail is going to go somewhere over here, so that it's out of the way of the cattle and doesn't interfere with anything. And it's going to be at least 10 feet tall or 10 feet high so that it stays out of the way of the cattle. And if a cattle can jump that high, it'll probably make the cattle owner rather rich because he's got a flying cow. But it's going to go in there. You're going to use a T-post like I've used for the temporary setup. Drive it in there, mast it up, and I'll ground it anyway, even though it's sticking in the ground, because it's got some of it's painted and galvanized and all that. Yeah, that's the plan. So it'll be just a little bit over, and I'll eventually show you what it is from there for, or I'll show it when I get it up here in the next couple months. It was nice and cool yesterday, but today it's a little bit warmer, less windy. I don't know if you could hear, but it is rather windy out here. Anyway, Yahweh bless. 73.